In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn people who are browsing your store but not buying into subscribers so you can grow your email list and grow your store sales. So over in Autopilot, we need to navigate under Marketing to Capture. We're going to click New Widget and we'll select Start from Scratch. But when you're doing this yourself, you can actually pick from some of the templates under Shopify or even under Feedback and Surveys here. And there's a number of different templates that you can use to start out. So we'll go back, select Start from Scratch, click Next to continue. And we're going to select a pop-up today, but you can select from many different types of widgets that you can put on your store. So at the top, we've got bar, which just puts a bar at the top of the website, and you can leave that up there to announce things, to drive new subscribers, to have promotions and sales. We have notification, which appears in the bottom right-hand corner. We've got takeover, which takes over the whole screen or a large portion of the screen. We have banner, which loads up a banner at the bottom or the top of the screen. And we have spin wheel, which is a competition and promotion type pop-up that you can run, which is very effective. But we'll show you the pop-up today. So click create on pop-up. And the first thing we want to do is give our widget a name. So we're going to call this subscribe and save. And then down on the left side here, this is how we'll control when the actual widget shows and where it shows and who it shows to. We'll come back to these settings later. First, I want to design the pop-up. So I'm going to click edit over on design here. So the first thing I want to do here is change out this image because I want a different image to this default happy birthday. So I'll click on the image and then I'm just going to replace this existing image. So I'll select an existing file from my desktop here. It's going to upload and the image will appear. Now I want to change the layout so this image takes over the whole pop-up. So under layout, I can just click expand and you'll see it takes over the entire top section of the widget. And I think it looks better already. So below that, I'm going to change the text. And what we want to do is try and get them to subscribe. And in order to do that, we're going to offer them 10% off their order. So we'll say subscribe and save 10% off your next order. And then in the subtext, we can say, we will send you craft tips and tricks every week. So below that, you can see that we've already got a form in here. But if we didn't have a form, we could select add content and just select the form content type here to add the form into our pop-up. And there's other different content types you can add in here as well. Things like videos, countdown timers. You can even create a survey or see how people react to some news or update that you give in a pop-up as well. So in our form, we automatically have the email field and this field is required. But you can add other fields as well. For example, say we wanted to know when the person's birthday was because we wanted to send them a coupon on their birthday. We could add the birthday field in here as well. And you can add any kind of field that you want to this form in here. I'm going to go ahead and delete the birthday field right now because I just want to collect email addresses. On the button, I'm just going to change it to subscribe instead of submit, just so it's a little bit more clear what it's doing. And then down here, we can see what happens after they submit the form. And this is represented by the thank you steps. So you can switch between the steps. Up here, you can see greeting and thank you. And this will just show you what happens before and after they fill in the form. So under thank you, we want to make this look pretty similar. So I'm just going to go here and add an image. I'm going to drag the image to the top and I'm just going to expand it out. So now they look similar. You can see they look pretty similar. And when we hit the thank you, we're going to say, thanks, here is your coupon. So the next thing we need to do is actually give them a coupon. Now, there's a few different ways you could do this. If you have an existing coupon in your store that you use for this kind of thing, you could just simply put use coupon 10 off at checkout or something like that and make it really obvious with what the actual coupon is. But what we like to do is use unique coupons so that we can track the effectiveness of the coupon and also make sure that the coupon's not shared. So you don't see people getting 10% off discounts and actually never subscribing to your newsletter in the first place. So we can go down here and add the content type coupon. And under coupon, we can select a coupon that I've already created called 10% off. And you can create these coupons in Autopilot. All you need to do is navigate to setup and then click coupon management. And this is where you can create unique coupons that will also be created and reflected in Shopify. So once you've selected your coupon, you just click add and you can see down here, there's a placeholder for where the coupon will appear. So what this will do is once they submit the subscribe form at the top here, will output a unique coupon for this particular person. And then below that, we can have a button which says shop now. And all that does, you can see on click, I've got selected close widget. So it'll just close the widget or the pop-up in this case, and it'll disappear and they're good to go. So now let's go ahead and save our design now that we're happy with it. And you'll see that the updated design appears in here as a preview. Now all that's left to do is decide where we're going to show the widget, when we're going to show it, where we're going to show it, and who we're going to show it to. So at the top, we have show widget on any page. And under here, you can target the widget to display to anyone on your Shopify store, any page on your Shopify store, or any page excluding specific pages, or specific pages only. And where this is really helpful is, say you just wanted this pop-up to show when people are on the cart page, you can click it and say contains cart. And what this will do is only show when they're on the cart page of your Shopify store. So you can isolate showing the widget on very specific pages. But we're going to go back and set it to on any page because we don't really care for this example where it shows up. So under when, this is where we can choose how the pop-up displays. So it's saying the visitor has been on the page for 2 seconds, and this is the default. So after 2 seconds, we're saying on any page, the pop-up will show. But we can also set it so it loads when the actual page loads. So it'll just load immediately, or we can select to load it when the visitor displays exit intent. So that means they're trying to close the actual tab or close the browser. So they're about to exit the site. So it's a chance to recover people before they leave your website. So that's a really helpful feature. But we're just going to leave it on the setting here, the visitor has been on the page for 2 seconds, and hit save. Under where, we can choose where the pop-up displays. So at this point, it's displaying globally, which means to everyone in the world, but you can display it to specific countries or exclude certain countries, or even select to display it within proximity to a city. For example, I could say, I only want to show this pop-up within 20 kilometers of Madrid, and I can target content in the pop-up to people in those locations. This is particularly helpful if you're having a local event and just want to invite people locally on your website. So under who, by default, everyone's going to see this pop-up, but we can change that setting to people that we don't know or people that we do know. And people that we don't know just don't belong in our Shopify store. They're not logged in. We have no idea who they are. And they might be a first time or repetitive visit to our website that we've never been able to identify. But we can also choose to display the pop-up to people we do know. And you can add conditions to this as well and target people directly in your database. For example, you could target people in Shopify here where the total spend is greater than, say, $400 in this case. So now we could target this pop-up to people who we know where they've spent more than $400. But again, for this example, we're just going to leave it on the default, which is everyone. So the final setting is frequency. And this says by default once per session or until they convert, and it never expires. So by default, it means that they'll see this pop up every time they visit the website on a separate visit, or until they convert, which means they fill in this form. You can also set it to only once, so they'll only ever see this offer once, or until they are known, which means we can identify them and we now know who they are. You can also select until dismissed or until they convert, which means if they click X or they actually convert on the form, they won't see it again. So until they do one of those two actions, they won't see it again. And the final one is always. So this is great for bars you want to put at the top of the page where you're having a promotion or you're offering free shipping and you just want the bar to stay up at the top of the website the entire time while the sale's on. Now, there's also a handy feature here to set an expiration date. So you can click on this and say, I want it to expire at a certain date. So if you're having a sale or an offer on free shipping, the bar will disappear when the sale ends, which is really helpful. Now, the final thing in here is what we call linking to a playbook. And a playbook's a way you can send an automated email after someone fills in this form. And the great thing about that is, as you saw earlier when we edited this message, on the thank you screen, we said, thanks, here's your coupon, and we gave them the coupon and allowed them to shop. Now, imagine a scenario where people could put in any email address really, and then we give them this coupon. So we don't necessarily know they're giving us a valid email address. Now, if you want them to start shopping and buying immediately, offering them a code like this is not that bad. Even though you might get some random email addresses put in, you'll still probably get more sales. And so the pros will outweigh the cons. But if you do want to get email addresses that you can rely on and that you know are valid, What you can do is come in here and remove the coupon and instead say, thanks, we've emailed you a coupon. So now we have the opportunity to email them the coupon, and this is where linking to a playbook comes in. So we can click here, link to playbook, and what's going to happen is Autopilot will build us a playbook so we can send some follow-up emails to people who fill in this pop-up. So we'll call this playbook subscribe and save follow-up. And now because we remove the coupon from the capture widget, we now need to send them the coupon via email instead. So let's go and create a follow-up message to send them the coupon. So we'll go up to add message and we'll click create new message. So we'll call this message, thanks for subscribing. Here is 10% off. And the subject line can be similar. Thanks for subscribing to our newsletter. Here is 10% off. And you'll see that the AI writes some different subject lines we can choose from, so we'll pick one of them. And then I'm just going to select a simple template here to demonstrate this. So in the email, we'll just quickly go and personalize it because we want to address them by name. But let's assume we don't have their name because we didn't really ask for name in the pop-up. So we can click here, insert merge tag, and then we can choose people and we'll select first name. Now, if we don't have a first name, we can put in a default value here. So we'll put in there because that makes sense. So it'll say, hi, Mike, if we have the name, or hi there if we don't have their name yet. So we'll write, thanks for subscribing to our craft mixer newsletter. Here is your 10% off coupon. Now, again, we could just write the coupon in this email if we had a generic coupon that we were using like 10 off, but I want to give them the opportunity to get a unique coupon so we can track the effectiveness of these coupons being used. So over in content, you can select the coupon content block and drag it into the email. To set it up, just click configure, and then we're going to add a coupon into the email, and we'll add the 10% off coupon that we created. So you can see by default, it has a button that's created, shop now. You can also add some nice artwork to it if you like. So it has your coupon code, and under it will say get 10% off coupon, just to make it a little bit more specific. So you can see we've created this nice little promotional area for our coupon. We'll click save and you'll see it appear in the email. Now, we might want to tidy it up a little bit, add some padding at the bottom, and we've got a pretty nice email here. So we've got, thanks for subscribing to our craft mixer newsletter. Here is your 10% off coupon. We've got a nice image, and then get 10% off coupon. So we'll click next, and then we'll take the time to review our email to make sure it all looks good, check it on mobile, and then we'll publish our email. So now we have a playbook that's going to follow up when someone submits that pop-up on our website. So they'll immediately get this email. And you can see here, people enter when, submitted widget form where widget name is subscribe and save. So anytime someone fills in the form on this pop-up, they're going to enter this playbook and receive any messages that we add into the playbook here. So a great second message that you can add here is a follow-up. So if they don't use the 10% off discount, we could say set it to send 5 days later and send them a reminder. So now we've changed the send message delay to at least 5 days apart. And then we can go and duplicate this message, edit it quickly and say reminder on the name of it. Now I won't go in and edit or make changes to this email just in the interest of time, but you can see how this would work. You could add a series of messages in here until they order, that they'll receive reminding them to use the coupon, which just means there's more chance of turning that visitor from a subscriber into a buyer by using that coupon. So finally, under people exit when, we're just going to tell Autopilot to exit people from this playbook once they place an order in Shopify. So we can scroll down and say placed order, and we'll say has occurred. So if an order has occurred, so once they place an order, they'll be removed from this playbook and they won't be able to receive these follow-up messages. So when they enter now, they'll get this email, and then we'll follow up with this reminder 5 days later if they don't use that coupon. Okay, so all that's left to do now is switch on the playbook, and you'll see it count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just to give us time to confirm everything's good, and we'll confirm it. Then let's go over to our widget that's now linked, and we'll turn on our pop-up as well. So you can see at the bottom of the screen here, the widget is now linked to the playbook. So you can just click back and forth between them and you can see what will happen. So you can see here's the pop-up, and you can go over and see here's the follow-up sequence that will happen after someone fills in the pop-up. Okay, so now all that is left to do is see this all working in action. So let's go back to our Craft Mixer site and we'll hit refresh. And you can see the pop-up comes in after 2 seconds, just like we set it to. And then I can put my email address into the pop-up and I'll click subscribe. And it says, thanks, we've emailed you the coupon. So we can shut that now and let's go check our email. Okay, so I've got the email and you can see it says hi there because we didn't fill in our name. So it's reverted to the default, which is there. Thanks for subscribing to our Craft Mixer newsletter. Here is your 10% coupon. So we can click anywhere on this section and that will generate the coupon for us. So you can see it clicks through to this placeholder page. It says a discount for you. And then I've got the actual coupon here I can copy, or I can just hit this button, copy code and shop now. Now, when I take one of these craft kits and add it to my cart and then go to checkout, you'll see here that the discount code has been added. So it automatically adds and you can see how unique it is. So we've been able to get our 10% off. So back over in Autopilot, you can now look and see what's going on with this particular widget. So over in activity, we can see that we submitted the form here. You can tab over to report and see that it's been shown once. There's been one conversion, an amazing 100% conversion rate here. You can also go into the playbook that's linked up here and you'll be able to click into the email and click on the report and see the report in here as well. And you can see that there's been a 100% open rate because I'm the only one that's gotten it so far. And over in the playbook report itself, you can see one person's entered and one person's currently in the playbook. So while I've received this first email, unless I actually place an order now, in 5 days, I'll receive this second email. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of creating a pop-up for your website, following it up with an email playbook. And I do hope that it helps you turn more of the browsers of your store into subscribers and then hopefully later on buyers. If you've enjoyed this video and want more tips like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I publish 2 videos like this every week. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.